What's happening, Internet fam? So I just thought I'd give an update really quickly. I've had several video chats with the kids in the last couple of weeks where I didn't get to talk to either of them at all. It's been like 30 seconds where they say like, "We're not going to talk to you," and they run off, which is the expected outcome of extreme parental alienation if you read the literature. So this is not a surprise. Unfortunately, it also means that the maximum harm is being done to the children right now, according to all the psychological studies and reports that I've read, which I've read too many, honestly. Um, but we did put in all the court paperwork on January 21st. It's now February 26th. Still haven't heard back from the courthouse or the judge on a new ruling. I've called several times and I got a hold of one of the legal secretaries down there at the courthouse, and she was very nice. And she said that they have gotten our messages and that the ruling is still being awaited. So I don't know when the ruling will come out or what the ruling will be. As of right now, I have tried many times to also schedule visitation at the Pact Family Visitation Center, which is the only option in Hawaii. And I've left message after message, and they've just not gotten back to me at all. One time I got somebody on the phone, they were all like, "Oh yeah, we'll call you right back," and then they didn't call me back. So that's what's going on there, and yeah. So just thought I'd put an update online. A lot of people are following my case now. It is pretty extraordinary. I was a full-time dad without any kind of criminal record of any kind, and I've been kept from my kids now pretty much in entirety. However, with a few supervised visits that were very costly. I purchased supervised visitation in California, about 20 grand worth, and here in Hawaii I haven't. You have to do it at the Pact Family Visitation Center. It's only $10 a visit, but they don't call back. They don't answer the phone. They have no ability to email. So it's really just not going well overall. The court case I do think went well. I was able to present all the evidence and all the facts, but I still haven't heard back. And it took me an entire year to even get a hearing. So, and they said I filed in May of last year, when it's pretty clear that the first time I went to the courthouse was like January. So, not sure why they say I filed in May of last year, but I in fact filed in January of last year, and finally got a hearing in January of this year. So, although on the court paperwork and documents it says May 5th was, or I don't remember if it was the 5th, but someday in May of last year was the first time that I was officially on the court record here, even though I had been going and calling and filing paperwork since January of last year. So another entire year has gone by without the opportunity to be a dad for my two kids. On top of the 2 years already that their mom had robbed from them. And don't get me wrong, I'm being robbed as well, but myself and my own concerns has never been the top of my priority list since this first started. When this first started over 3 years ago, my very first thing that I said was, "Hey, let's all I care about is being a dad. Just don't mess that up. Don't screw around with custody. Don't let's not go to court. Let's not do all that stuff." And then she's dragged me from courthouse to courthouse to courthouse in 3 states now. 6 or 7 judges, 5 or 8 or 10 lawyers, probably 50 exhibits, and it's just ongoing. And I told her initially when she first started messing around with custody, I said, if you continue to mess around with custody, I'm just gonna keep fighting you until the kids turn 18, or or I get custody, whatever occurs first. And challenge accepted, apparently. So I'm in this for the long haul. I'm staying healthy. I'm eating well. I'm exercising. I'm doing a lot of things that are good for me on a mental level. Um, just, taking time to meditate, practice yoga, exercise, spend time with friends, play music, just things that kind of feed my soul. Just because I'm the only person I'm allowed to take care of because of these disastrous court rulings that we've got in state after state. So yeah, I'm taking good care of myself uh, with with the knowledge that it might be 2031 before I get to have a significant impact on my daughter's life, and it might be 2029 before I get to have a significant impact on my son's life. So, um, worst case scenario, this is going to go on for another decade. That's the worst case scenario. So, and I am made out of tough stuff, so I'm going to be able to make it through this decade with or without any court success. And I'm going to continue to file and continue to sue for visitation and continue to relentlessly try to provide care for my kids who have been horrendously damaged by the state, by lawyers, by a very corrupt judge in California, um, and also by their own mother, which is a horrendous thing. I mean, the kids right now are living with somebody who's provided them with, one of the ultimate forms of abuse for 3 years. And I've been able to do nothing against their abusers. There's a stepdad involved now too, so he's definitely part and parcel to the continued abuse of my kids. So, but I'm never going to stop. And like I said, I'm healthy. I'm eating well. I'm exercising. I'm taking good care of myself. I'm living very well, very comfortably. I mean, taking a nice bath. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm just frustrated, very frustrated. That, even when you're completely in the right and have the moral and legal and ethical high ground on every level, you can be prevented from seeing your own children almost entirely for 3 years. And that was a few months in Oregon, more than a year and a half in California, and now for a whole year in Hawaii. So we'll see how the ruling is, what happens with the ruling, what occurs. Again, though, I'm just it's hard to pretend like I have any right to feel any kind of optimism at this point about the legal ruling and the court hearing and how all of that works. It's just been so disastrous for my children every time for 3 years now that that getting my hopes up at this point would almost be insane. That said, I did get to present all the evidence against Mrs. Garcia at the last hearing, and I'm cautiously optimistic that maybe this judge won't be bought off by Mrs. Garcia's parents, which was certainly the case with Judge Wood in California. So, and I'm not done with any of that either. I'm going to go after Judge Wood in California as well, legally or, with via social media, something. What he did to me and my 2 kids is just absolutely horrendous. It's, if it were a time of war, it would be a war crime. As it is, he's contributed to the ultimate abuse of 2 totally innocent children and their dad. So, with total impunity, because he's a judge. He's protected by the robes or the bench or whatever. And just know that that's not going to absolve you, Judge Wood. Your ruling will live in infamy. It's all public record now. It has been for some time. And that public record will come back to bite you. Whether I have to put you in jail for fraud or... yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm interested if you know how to go after a corrupt judge, I'd be very interested in pursuing that. And I certainly have the evidence to pursue that successfully. Um, Backed up in the cloud with multiple parties having access to them. So, uh, so, so there's that. Yeah, I don't know. Other than that, like my life's going great. I've seen a lot of good friends of mine recently. Some from the mainland. I've spent a lot of really good time with friends here on the island. I've been playing a lot of music. I'm about to release my 8th album. I've been working a lot. I figured since I don't have custody of the kids or access to the kids, I would just throw myself into attaining as much revenue as possible. So I've been doing that, and it's tricky though because I can't make any money on the books. So everything I have to do is under the table, third party, direct to the public. I can't be engaged in any kind of state taxes or uh, uh, property ownership. I can't, I couldn't open my own store because then the state would come in and take all of my assets and give them directly to the abusers who have been violating my children's human rights now for 3 years. So I'm not going to do that. Although it would be very possible to make a lot of money in Hawaii if that was on the table for me. Unfortunately, it's not. But I've been doing pretty well without that. So yeah, I've been doing surprisingly well, given all the obstacles that were presented to me over the last 3 years. And the fact that I'm not 18 anymore, getting up every morning, early in the morning, working a 10, 12-hour day, fighting a legal battle, being kicked in the gut by your own children on the video chat when they refuse to talk to you because their mother has told them that dad rhymes with bad, your dad's crazy, your dad needs mental help, all your dad cares about is money. It's so funny because all the different things that she said negative about me to the children are almost opposite. So she said like one thing to them at one point and another thing to them at another point, and it's either one or the other. It can't really be both. So is dad crazy and needs mental help, or does he only care about money? It's kind of one or the other, and it's clear anyway if you look at the evidence and look at everything that's gone on. It's clear that she's just doing everything she can to damage my relationship with the children, very successfully for 3 years now, and. But ultimately, it doesn't matter because they're smart kids and they're going to know what happened and they're going to know who's to blame. And the evidence, if you read the psychological papers regarding parental alienation, if you read all the literature around this incredibly common phenomena here in the United States, in Australia, in the UK, in most of South America, in Italy, I mean, this parental alienation thing, particularly the violation of fathers' rights, is an epidemic that's almost global in scale at this point. So yeah, and so there's a lot of literature about it. You can read about it, and in most cases, unless the father is has legitimate problems that he's in jail or on heroin or something like that, the kids find out later that there was nothing wrong with their dad, and then they are very mad at whoever did the alienation, and in most cases cut ties with them completely for life. This happens a lot, which is too bad because that's also not healthy for the kids. But there's going to be little that anybody can do about it at that point. I mean, it's already been 3 years. Imagine this goes on for another year or another 2 years or another 3 years or, like I said, worst case scenario, another 10 years. And then I have to show up when they're 18 and be like, hey, yeah, I'm your dad. I never did anything wrong, and your mom didn't let me see you for 15, however many years it ends up being. And they're going to know the truth. And that kind of karma comes back to roost really hard on the perpetrator of these crimes. The problem is that the damage done to the children is lifelong and generally irreversible. So, then they didn't deserve it. So there's no karma there. So there's no poetic justice. There's no any kind of justice. And it's just really unfortunate. But anyway, I am relentless, and I will never give up fighting for what's right and fighting for the kids. And in the meantime, I'm taking very good care of myself. I'm very much enjoying my bath. Long, hard day of work. Came home, taking a nice bath, and it's very quiet here. No roommates. Got the place to myself. Had this place to myself for months and months now. And yeah, I've got everything I need in this life except for access to my kids. And I'll keep fighting for that every single day for the next 3 to 15 years. We'll see what goes on. Anyway, that's what's up with me. Just thought I'd post a quick update. A lot of people are curious about it and want to know what's up. And so there's what's up. All right. Have a great evening, Internet fam.